Hey everyone, you're watching Transtabulous. My name is Monroe, and I'm your host for Mondays usually. Today I'm a little bit late. It's Tuesday. I apologize for that. Before I get too far into this video, I also want to apologize for not uploading a video last week. I've just been pretty busy with work and whatnot. Right, so this week's topic is mental health, which is a pretty broad topic. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you kind of a rundown of some of my experiences in mental health. And if you have more articulate, specific questions regarding my history or what I think about different things, let me know in the comments and I will cover it on my personal channel. So, without further ado, mental health. I have been in and out of counseling, psychiatry, that kind of thing since I was 14. I was struggling with some self-harm issues. I used to scratch. I, like, that little scar in the back of my hand, where'd it go? This one, right here. I used to scratch until I would bleed. Like, that was how I hurt myself. I have more, but that's the most noticeable one. Right. So my parents checked me in, and I was really mad at them for springing it on me. So I lied to my therapist and told him I was fine and got out of there as quickly as I could because I was pissed off at my parents. So later on, my sophomore year of high school, I developed really bad depression, and I got addicted to popping painkillers, and I made so many suicide attempts that I don't remember how many it was. I would just try to overdose. It got to the point where I was taking up to 65 pills a day, just trying to numb myself and kill myself. I'd wake up the next morning and be like, well, shit, I guess I gotta go to school, and I try again the next night. My senior year of high school, I had a really bad episode of depression and psychosis. I was on a lot of psychiatric medications. I was having anxiety attacks. I was hallucinating out of nowhere, like really bad hallucinations, to the point where it would induce a panic attack, and it was just really bad. I couldn't sleep by myself. I had to be with someone. Otherwise I couldn't sleep. It was a really messy time in my life. Later that year, I developed really bad suicidality again, so I began a program called Intensive Outpatient Care, which is basically 9 hours of therapy a week for 3 weeks in hopes it'll make you better. It didn't work. I've actually tried that program twice, and I don't like any of the therapists in it, and it wasn't effective for me. I began going to gender therapy March of last year in hopes of pursuing my medical transition. I didn't find out until 6 months into it that the therapist I was going to didn't have the authority to write a referral for anything, and I wasted a lot of time there. So what I had to do was call every psychiatric facility covered by my insurance in Southern California until I found someone who knew what the fuck they were doing with trans people. Basically that entailed calling every psychiatric facility and going, hi, do you know anything about transgender people? No? Okay, bye. Like, that was it. So now I am, for those of you who have Kaiser insurance and are looking for a therapist, I go to Bob Oppenheimer in Los Angeles, which is an hour away from me. I have to drive an hour to go to these therapists. God damn it, Rex, stop it. I have to drive an hour to go to these therapy appointments, which is pretty inconvenient, but you gotta do what you gotta do. In August of last year, I had a really bad suicidal episode. I came really close to attempting. My best friend was with me, and she said something like, oh, like, do you think you can take me home soon? And I was like, I can't take you home. Like, if I take you home, I won't be safe. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm by myself. And so we made the decision that I drove myself to the ER, and she went with me. So I checked in for the night, and the reason I didn't get transferred to a mental hospital immediately was because I'm transgender, and apparently you have to room by yourself when you're transgender because they're afraid you're going to have sex with your roommate. So I had to wait overnight until they had a free room for me because I wasn't allowed to have a roommate, apparently. My stay in the mental hospital was really, really surreal. I think I learned more from the patients than I did from the doctors. Most of the staff are kind of really not nice. My doctor was really, really mean to me. He told me, like, oh, you're stressing about being transgender? Like, that's nothing. Like, you need to be worried about people perceiving you as a Latino male, like, once you transition. And, like, where he's getting that information from is my birth last name is Jimenez, which is a Spanish last name. I'm half Hispanic, makes sense. And he went off. He's like, they're gonna look at your applications at work and be like, Monroe Jimenez, oh, this fucking wetback, this piece of shit, porch monkey, like, and he just went off on a racial tangent of slurs, and it was really ugly, and he was just going off on me about how I need to be worried about what it's like to be a Latino male instead of a Latino female, and, like, it was just really ridiculous, and it was stupid. That was the worst 4 days of my life. And honestly, I'm at this point right now where I'm starting to feel shitty again, and I have been for a long time, and I know I really need help, but it's really hard to get reliable help. I don't really want to go back to a mental hospital because with my last experience, I don't think it's going to help. And secondly, I'm concerned about losing my job. I understand that if I do check myself in, the only notification my employer will get is that Monroe is sick and can't come to work. That's all it's going to say. It won't say anything about my diagnosis or anything. But I mean, if you were an employer and one of your employees didn't show up for a few months because they were sick, like, wouldn't you fire them? So I don't really know what to do. My therapist is an hour away. I can't really find a reliable one in the area. Most of my friends live thousands of miles away, and I don't know. I don't feel like I don't really have anyone to talk to around here. Yeah, it's kind of bleak. Anyways, if you have questions about my psychiatric experiences, specific questions about anything relating to this, let me know, and I will cover it on my personal channel. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.